guys, Di here from Di's Den and welcome to May. This week we're going to do a card that I think even if you're a beginner you could do this card and it would look like you're a professional because it's just so lovely. This one I think I did a little bit over the top with 2 lots of DSP, but I still love it, and it's called a fracture card, or fault line card, sorry. So on the inside, that's how I did the insides of these cards. So today we're going to do another one with the hibiscus, which is this one here. So we're going to do the hibiscus again, but I'm going to use the happy birthday out of here. So the happy birthday out of birthday celebrations, and I'm going to use these, which I believe have finished now. These are purple adhesive backed sequins, so I think they'll go really nice. Those ones will go really nice with what we're going to do for today. So I've actually cut out the hibiscus. So that's the hibiscus one. This one was done with the sailing ship from before. There's a new one coming out this month, so let's pop them out of the way too. And we're going to do a bit of embossing today as well. So what you're going to need, I've got some leaves. These leaves are not from the hibiscus set, but they were some leaves I already had cut out, so I'm using those. Here are my hibiscus, which I've actually stamped in Blackberry Bliss and then stamped off once, so that it's all in Blackberry Bliss. Okay, so let me show you what you need. Well, I will when I've got the instruction sheet. That was very clever, wasn't it? Okay, so I've actually done this a little bit different to what my instruction sheets say. So what you need is a piece of DSP. Oh, sorry, we need a main card that is 11 3/4 by 4 1/8. Then we need a piece of DSP that is 5 7/8 by 4 1/8. And you'll need another piece of DSP, which is the same size. And then you'll need a piece of card, the same size again. So you'll need a piece of card, 2 pieces of DSP. You want one with a pattern and one that's plain. So this was the lucky one. This one's plain on the other side. So you'll need all 3 of those to be 5 7/8 by 4 1/8 of an inch, like so. And then for the inside of your card, you're going to need a piece that measures 5 5/8 by 3 7/8 and 5 3/8 by 3 5/8 for your insert. Okay, so let's pop them out of the way. And that's my piece that I cut my flowers out of. And if you need if you've got the same set and you want to do it the same, you need a piece that is about 2 3/4 by 4 3/4 to fit your flowers on. Okay, so we're going to start by scoring. It's not a scoreboard, is it? Our main card on the long side at 5 7/8 with the small ball. Okay, that's all the scoring we're going to do. So we're going to pop that scoreboard out of the way, and we're going to fold and burnish this piece. Okay, so that's our main card, and then we've got our 3 pieces of card. So we need a fancy piece on the bottom, which we're going to put on one side. Our next piece, which is a bit like you know, it will fit on there, but it's not real good. And then our darker piece. So it's up to you which way around you want to do that. Where's my cards? With this one I did the 3 colours, but this one I'm going to do with the dark one on the top, this one in the middle, and this pretty one at the bottom. Okay, so we're going to pop this pretty one on one side. We don't want that one for a minute, and we want to make sure that that is definitely the right size. So if it is a little bit out, you need to just maybe trim it, but we can do that afterwards. Alright, so what we're going to do with these 2 pieces is we're going to pop them together like this, and I'm going to stamp and emboss the words happy birthday. That says hooray birthday, not happy birthday. Oh my goodness, why did I get hooray birthday out instead of happy? Where's the word happy? There it is. Happy birthday. So let's move that one out. Hooray birthday. Hooray. Okay, let's pop that one out of the way. So, and I don't know where this is going to go as yet, so I'm not worried about popping on there properly. So with these 2 pieces, what you're going to do is you're actually going to tear these. So you're going to pop them together like so, and you're going to tear them like really tear how you want them to be. So, but you want them to stay together as much as you can. So whichever way you've got that, that's how it is. So that's how mine is. Okay, so then I'm going to bring in this piece, and I want to work out how far down I want that piece and that piece, like so. Or do I want it to be the other way around at this stage? If I put it that way around, I can stamp in the dark colour. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put mine this way around, and I'm just going to go and get my Blackberry Bliss. Ink, like so. So what I'm going to do next is I'm actually going to glue these together with that fault line looking like that apart that little bit. So I'm happy with that distance, so I'm going to glue those together like so. Now I don't want to go right to the edge of the top piece, but I want to make sure that it is even on the sides and on the way around there. So, because we need that to be exactly right, like so. And we know that one's going to be at the top, so we're going to do the same with the one at the bottom. And we don't need to go right to the bottom, because we know that that's going to be trimmed off. So once I'm happy with that, and I know that they're together nicely. Now I've seen this card done some strange ways, I think are stranger ways, but that doesn't mean that it's wrong. It just means that it's stranger than I would have thought. So I'm going to actually stamp on here now. So I'm going to pop this on here. So I'm going to pop my happy birthday on here so I can see where I want it. And then I will actually stamp my words onto the front of the that piece. looks fantastic. Really happy with the way that's turned. So now I'm going to pop this onto here, making sure that it's over the bottom of that, and I'm going to glue that into place. So I'm going to pop some glue, once again, not right to the edge, but this time I want to make sure that my words are going to be onto it. So I need to watch where that is with this piece of card here. And I want to make sure that the edges are straight. Like so. And then we're going to pop this piece on the top like this. And we can then make this as big or as small as you want. So again, I'm going to pop this on here. Glue onto this piece, and then I can work out how much of a gap I want. So I think about that is going to be nice. So once again, making sure that the sides are even, and give them a good push down. Once I'm happy with that, I'm going to turn it over, and I'm actually going to trim that off along the size of this piece here, wherever my scissors may be. Okay, so you can do this by hand, or you can do it on your trimmer. So I know that my words are on there nicely, so let's do this end. And that's the front of our card. So we're going to chuck those pieces in the bin, and we're going to bring our main card in, and that is going to fit onto the front of the card like so. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to glue this to the front of the card. I'm going to stand it up like that because it's easier that I can know that I can get the bottom right, turn it to get the side right, the top right, and the other one right. Once I'm happy with that, I can push it down nice and tightly, and that way I can see if there's a tiny bit like that, I can then get my scissors and just trim that tiny bit off the edge there, that tiny bit there, that tiny bit just there. Alright, so once I'm happy with that, I'm then going to get my scissors, and I'm just going to bring this piece up so it looks jaggedy. Now you can do this with anything you like, so I'm just doing mine with my scissors because I can get my scissors under the end, and then I can turn that up a tiny, just that tiny little bit, so that it's, and this is entirely up to you. If you don't want to do that, if you want it to sit down flat, that's fine. I like that jaggedy look, so I'm doing mine this way. So I'm just putting my fingernails up against this side and pushing it up with my scissors on this side, just to get the edge up, so you've got that fault line look. So once I'm happy with that, we've got our front of our card done. So now we can stamp our insert, which will be stamped, and I didn't get the stamp out. What did I do with the stamp? Happy birthday. Make a wish, that's what I was going to put on there, and I didn't get it out, did I? Make a wish. Let's pop them out of the way for a second. Trust me not to get everything out. Oh, just 2 weeks in a row I've been a bit off. I don't know, well, mine's not been with it. I think it's this strange weather we're having too. So this is one of those cards, and I've got a mark on there that is so quick and easy to do, yet looks so effective. And I'm not worrying about that mark because I will put a flower over it. Look at that. I've got a mark on the inside of my card too. From that. So we've got our piece out, and I'm going to put this big flower on the front, but this smaller one I'm going to pop over that mark like so it won't show. So, and I think half the trouble is I've got ink on my fingers. Look at that. Let's get that off so that it doesn't mark anymore. Pop that over the top of that mark. There's always ways to cover it. On the front I'm going to put this one on with some dimensionals. Oops, let's make sure we put him up the right way. And I'm going to pop him on there. And then I'm going to use some glue just to put a couple of these leaves under here, like so. And I'm not going to worry about those two. They can go in my little pot. And that's our card. All I need is my bits and pieces to go on them. So I'm going to use these darker ones. Just put the pin in my glue for a second because the weather is quite warm out there. It's still in the high 20s and we are really doing weird things with our weather this year. Okay, so let's pop these on here. And that's my card for today. Now that was a quick card compared to last week's, which was extremely long. So this card is called a fault line card. It is so easy to do, and as I say, it's the sort of card for beginners or advanced, because even if you're a beginner, how gorgeous does that look for a card? Doesn't matter what you put here, you've got a pretty pattern through there. You've got your different colours and it just looks really professional, and I love it. I really do love it. It's so easy, so quick, and I think just perfect for anybody, male or female. I think you could even do that for children if you had lots of children's sets. So if you've enjoyed today's card, please give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. I love to hear from you all. I do answer them all. If you'd like the written tutorial for this, please head down below to my Facebook group page, link, and that is Di stands for Stamping, Crafting and Tutorials. There you'll find the written tutorial, which will go live exactly the same time and the same date. So whatever date you're watching this on, doesn't matter. Just look at the date, and then when you go to my Facebook group and join, if you're not a member, then just you'll look up the tutorial and there it will be with the same date and same time. And I will see you all again next week. Bye for now.